Hi and welcome back to the next video. In this video I'm going to explain to you each of the different parts of your loom, and I'm also going to show you how to assemble it. So now I'm ready to show you all the different parts that you have for your looms. Now if you can see here on the left hand side I've got all the parts that you might have purchased. That's the medium loom, and here on the right hand side I have all the parts that you might have purchased as part of the extra large loom. Okay, so first of all we have our side frames. Now our side frames were designed so that you can have a nice square look for your frame loom. They have a left and a right hand side, and the reason and the way that you know that is if you look here, we've got the little logo here on the right hand side, and that's quite important. Just so you start off in the right way, you know how what your top and bottom is. As a starting point, look here at the bottom, you have a square shape. That's great because it fits the square shape of the Hedle bar, and it actually creates a really square and nicely fitted frame. So when it goes in place, it doesn't move around, and as you can see at the top, it would slide or has the room to rotate a little bit. So it's always best to put your frame together so that you have this starting on the bottom right, you've got your two sort of square snug fitting parts at the bottom, and then the movable parts at the top. So the first thing we're going to do is I want to show you your double-sided Hedle bars. Now I'm not going to say double-sided Hedle bars each time. I'm going to call them Hedle bars. These are the most unique part of the Oxford Frame Loom. You have channels to hang your warp threads and hook your warp threads on the front and on the back. Now that's not seen in any other frame loom design on the market because it's unique to us. So first thing is, you'll notice that there is a channel on this side as well as this side. This is the bit where you actually hook your yarn on, your warp. So it always, when assembling it, has to sit what I call facing out. So it has to face out this way. And then if you take your other Hedle bar, again, can you see the other side doesn't have those channels? So it's more difficult to fit your warp threads on it. Now, I'll also mention that there is a front and back to the double-sided Hedle bars. Although they are actually the same, there's no difference. The front is delineated by these little, the pair to the wing nuts. So they basically sit in position, they're pressed in, they're a very, very snug fit, so you shouldn't need a hexagonal key to kind of tighten them, but they come already included and pressed inside your frame loom, so it's not something you need to do. And can you see here now, it sits in the position that is ideal. So it's the same exact setup for the extra large loom, but I'll show you what that looks set up when we're done with this in a moment. Now I'm going to turn it over, keeping the Hedle bars in the same position. I'm going to reverse the left and the right because of course that's the position that they are going to be when they're assembled. And the reason I'm putting it back to front is so you can easily slide and tighten your wing nuts. Now something to mention about the wing nuts, you only need 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 for each corner. They are the right size to fit the depth of your loom. They come in a handy little pouch. So all of our extra bits come with a pouch. So if you've purchased the frame loom plus the extra Hedle bar, you should have 6 wing nuts in there. If you've purchased it with the stand, it'll have 2 wing nuts to go with the stand, which are a bit longer, and I might as well show you that now. They are a little bit longer, so you get a different size wing nut to fit your stand if that comes with it for the extra large. But everything comes in this handy little pouch, which you can tie up. So when you're storing your loom, as I mentioned earlier, if you've got weaving tools as well, you've got your ring set with all your tools together, and you could actually attach your frame. So everything fits nice and tight. So that's a really important feature. I like to think in terms of designing every step, everything that I want from a frame loom, I've designed so that hopefully it makes it easier for you too. Okay, so we've got our wing nuts. I'm going to suggest that you start always trying to put securing the bottom wing nuts in first, because of course the top ones will have more room to move, whereas this square position stays put. So it's just a bit easier to keep those in position. So I try and tighten them a little bit, and then we'll secure them into their fixed position in a moment. You'll notice the difference between the bottom 2 and the top 2. These always are a bit more snug than the top because this has a wider channel and there's more room for it to kind of maneuver and attach itself to the other part of our wing nut. I guess we'll call that a bolt. So I can secure the top ones in place. They are happy where they are. Then I go back and I tighten the bottom. So the bottom's in place. Now this one is a bit snug. So some will be more snug than others. If you need to put some WD-40 on your wing nut in order for it to sit securely in its position, then you might go and do that. But that one is, I think, secure. It's not going anywhere. So now we're looking from the front. That's your frame loom setup. That's the basic frame loom, and it's perfect as it is. It's nice and square. It's got the two side frames and the two Hedle bars in position, both of them facing out the Hedle bars with your wing nuts. So that's the standard setup for both the extra large and the medium size looms. Next, I want to show you, just to demonstrate, what it would look like if you had your extra Hedle bar. So you can purchase this with both the medium and the extra large size, and you can position it like so. You get two more wing nuts, again, to secure from underneath. You know how to do that now, and if you're weaving, you will slide up and down your loom into the position that you want for your Hedle bar. So this is easily done when it's secured in place, but I'll show you that in the next video to show you how to use the double-sided Hedle bars to your advantage. The last thing I want to note is when you are weaving with your weaving tools. Now, I'm not going to go through all of the tools because it's not necessarily relevant for you in your case, but I did want to mention that the spacing between the comb particularly matches identically to the frame loom. So if you've purchased the frame loom but didn't see the advantage of having tools, because you might have some at home, you might want to maybe just pick up the comb, because that's really the only one that is not as it's specific to this loom. It's not generic, so you might want to pick up a comb too, so that when you're weaving, your warp spacing is pressed down exactly with the right tool, because there's nothing worse, I think, for me than having the wrong tools for the job. I always invest in the quality materials and the products so you get the most out of it right from the start, so you're not having to buy multiple tools. So if I was to recommend any of the tools, I would just say the comb is the one you need.